right, what's up, world? Back here again. And like I said, I want to show you how the inflammation, how they implanted something there in the 70s that trickled down and affects all of us now in our lives, and how if you're not situated, how it corrupt to take over. Because like most people, when they catch charges, they so worried about their freedom and so emotional that we forget about the objective of getting free, and we're looking at all the details and semantics dealing with the case and not hitting the objective. The objective is the administrative policy that governs the courts and that governs and binds everybody dealing with the judicial system, and that's how you get them to do their job. There's no wiggle room for them. There's no wiggle room for them for that. Okay, starting on how the policy affect me from this 2011 case right here, and this case got vacated. It was dismissed with prejudice. Okay, just want to show you a list of this. It's a 2004 case, possession with intent to distribute Class D. This case right here, you can look it up, public document record. You see it stamped off by the Springfield Courthouse. My life is real, so respect me and respect it before you open your mouth. You heard? This is another 2004 case that was dismissed. This one right here is possession of Class B with intent to distribute. In possession of Class D, case was dismissed for prejudice. This case right here, I got a new trial on. This case right here was 2007 case in Hampden County, dismissed with prejudice. These first four cases in Hampden County were dismissed with prejudice. This case right here is from Berkshire County, 2010 case. I filed a motion for new trial. The judge denied me. I filed with the highest court in Massachusetts, the SJC, and they flipped it and reversed it in my favor. Let's see this right here. This is by actually the same successor from Judge Agostini. What's his name? Gaziano. You can read that. That's public. That's all public record. Public record. 2011 case was dismissed. They used this case for a predicate offense, subsequent offense standard, and enhanced the time that I was doing for my 2015 case, which I was under enhancements. This case is right here. I already had I'll tell you the situation. I got knocked July 22nd, 2014. I was just released from doing 2.5 years in the county jail for 2.5 years. I fought that case myself and beat out a traffic charge pro se. You can also look that up. The docket numbers is from the 2011 case I had showed you. I had negotiated myself pro se 2.5 to 2.5, 3 years concurrently on a traffic and a cocaine charge and a possession with intent to distribute Class A. Now, being on bail and having to stay execution, I caught another charge, and they used that 2011 case for a 3.5 to 5 year bid, which motion was put in to correct the legal sentence. I want you to look at this again. See my name up here. See all that? It's all public record. Right in the courts. Sorry about the camera movement. And right here, this is by Judge Agostini. It says, motion to correct the legal sentence. The defendant claims that the fact that certain criminal convictions were vacated because of the Farrak matter, which is the Amherst drug lab scandal matter, and they also had one in Eastern Mass, so I was affected by the one in Western Mass. This lady, Sonia Farrak, was tampering with evidence. People that were under prosecution for controlled substances. She was using the substances. She was started off with LSD and PCP and cocaine and started stealing crack. There's a case of, I think it's Kodo. This individual was from Chicopee, Massachusetts, and through the investigation, they found a whole kilo of cocaine. She took 200 grams out of it and put a fake substance. Then went to court and testified on them, and basically saying she did her job and did what she was supposed to do the right way. Actually, this 2004 case is the first case I have with her name on the certificate. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Her name is on these certificates. And this case right here, because this case these two cases were wrapped together. I was on probation for this case, and then I caught this one. So I did a global resolution. But the judge in the 2006 case for new trial found that this case hindered my plea, and it overwhelmingly had me plead guilty to the 2006. She granted me a new trial for my 2006 case, and I have to handle that this month. I'm actually putting a motion to get a handwriting expert, and a lady named by the name of Heather L. Harris from Philadelphia is a chemical consultant analysis, and she did my 2011 case and found that the lab was not credible. It had no accreditation, and from there they tried to say she's not validated and accredited, and even the courts wasn't trying to look at that through the overall scheme. And Judge Carey, you can also look that up in his decision. Going on from there, well, this is my original sentencing. My original sentencing here. Okay. And this is my new sentencing. They didn't touch the first two, which I was telling the judge that all of these cases affected even the 2014 plea, but he was reluctant to do anything with it. I even put in a motion for that, and it's on record. He straight flat out tried to ignore me. This in my sentence got dropped down to 2.5 to 3 after they resentenced me. I was released in October 2018. They even gave me a recommendation to the county, but I wasn't trying to go there. I was all right where I was at. I was held in first went up to Walpole. Then I went to that's classification. Then the Shirley Medium. Then from Shirley Medium to Concord. Then from Concord to MCI Shirley Max. I was held in Susan Baranowski for almost like 18 months with no history of institutional violence. So I'll get that to you on that information on a later date, because I have a lot of stuff on the DOC too. And I have all my records to show how they circumvent and how they do, especially dealing with our religious and constitutional rights. And it's crazy. But I just want to show how one black individual, how an individual, not even black, it doesn't matter about color anymore, but it is, but you really hit the meat of the bone of the situation. So I'm going through all of this. What are you going through, what you have to fight? Unlimited manpower, resources, and finances. And I'm one man that's standing up to these people, and I'm making it happen. Because I found knowledge of self sitting in themselves for all that time. You can't do nothing but try to not figure a way out, but you have to figure out what you've done wrong and how can you educate yourself to your wrongs. And that's all knowledge of self is knowing your limitations and gravitating towards something better. All of these cases I got sealed. This right here is the 2004 cases and the 07 case. Gone. This I got it sealed. This is the 2000. This right here is Great Barrington cases. I got that sealed. I'll read that to you in a minute. This is the sealings right here for the 2010 case for other offenses that was on there. And I also got all of those cases sealed. I got that done before the year was out. This is also more sealings from Great Barrington. Actually, this is the sealing of the 2010 case. And there's a lesser included offense, and these other high included offenses before it got to that was still on my record. I got those sealed too. And that case is crazy also. I got pulled over by a park, and they said it was a park zone, school zone, but in the state of Massachusetts, it has to be accredited and filed with the state and the Secretary of State to have in effect to be a school zone, so they could put in effect the range of where you could, sell drugs, not sell drugs, or whatever the situation may be. And this was keeping a lot of people out. They would use it as a cop-out mechanism. Like, well, we'll drop the school zone if you cop out to the drugs, because at that time, the school zone was a mandatory minimum 1 year, and then they put it to a mandatory minimum of 2 years at one point in time. And that really greatly affects you. Like I said, they use it for a cop-out mechanism. I did my research and found out that the park itself was not accredited by the state. Once I found out that information, I pushed them to indict me. Go ahead and indict me. They didn't want to indict. I put in a motion to suppress. I had like 70-something days in. The DA was ready to acquit it, but for some reason, Judge Rugberg wasn't trying to let it go. He said heroin was an epidemic in this county, and if you read the paperwork dealing with my case and all the in the records, you look at it like everything roundabout, how they used the marijuana to search the vehicle, K9 being called beforehand. It was pretext. Plus, I was getting followed beforehand, and the passenger had a license, and they made her go away. They just made her leave. Didn't even ask her if she wanted to drive the car away or anything. And this is why I started looking into and scratching beneath the surface of how these people manipulate the law. And if you don't know, they're really taking advantage of your life. It really opened my eyes up at that time. I have articles here. Go look this up on the Berkshire Eagle. And this is from Robert Kinzer III, which was the attorney at the time. And right here he says, the prosecutor said Lamaris Talley, 29 of Pittsfield, did the goodest job defending himself as any lawyer he dealt with. And that's dealing with this 2011 case. I was originally charged with trafficking in cocaine, 28 to 100 grams. That carried a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years. And after 17 months, Kinzer said he's not worried about the drugs anymore because they knew they had the invalid motor vehicle search policy, like I told you before, and I just explained. And 2 weeks after I went in for unagreed plea colloquy and got 2.5 years to the county, it comes out. Now, that was January 4th of 2013. And January 18th, 2 weeks later to the exact, 2 weeks later, Sonia Farrak, the scandal comes out about the Amherst Drug Lab. 2 weeks later. I think that's the main reason why he wasn't concerned about the drugs in the car. Here's my driving record. Right now, they're saying I owe $11,000. So it's like, I don't, well, what am I have to do? Go out here and hustle and get myself back into trouble? When I went in, I paid it down to $440. Okay. Now, look at this. Surchargeable events, things of this nature. And I had to take 5 classes at $135 a piece. And all that included, when I did the math, came to almost $10,000. Then you got to figure, to pay for my license was $75 and anything else incorporated in that. Mind you, the time to take the classes. Then the insurance company, I contacted them. They want $5,500, $5,600 up front before I can get in the car. Then you think about just to have a decent car to get to places where I need to be, around the state to handle things like this. It's another $4,000. That's gonna cost me $20,000 just to be in the vehicle for surcharges and fees for operating on a suspended license. And the only reason why my license was suspended is because of these charges. In Massachusetts, when you had they changed the law. But at that time, if you caught a drug offense, they would suspend your license. So for this one, it was 2 years. This one, it was about a year. These two together, couple, was another 3 years. This was another 2 years. This was another 5 years, or however 3 years they put on the paper. It's all here on the documentation, what they did and how many years it goes to the surcharges. Let me just find this for you here so you can see. Right here, August 24th, 2014. August 12th was when I copped out to possession with intent Class D. And right here, it took an effect. 12 days later, suspension, possession, Class D, intent, 2 years, my license. And then from there, it keeps going on. 1 year. Right here, possession of Class B, 3 years. Possession of Class A, 1 year. And you can keep going on the list. Right here, a habitual traffic offender because of the operating after suspensions and after you keep getting caught up. This is 4 years, another 4 years, another 4 years, another 5 years, another 3 years. I mean, it just keeps going on. So I'm never going to get my license back, This right here is my criminal record. Like I said, you can look it up. I ain't ashamed of nothing I've done. I had no secrets, and that's all out here for play. Nobody can say I'm a snitch. Nobody can say I'm a rat. Nobody can pull nobody to the side and say I dry snitched on them, told on them, did anything of that nature. I'm a real solidified, real nigga. I'm not a thug. I'm not a gangster. I'm a hustler. And I found another vision to my hustle. I think that's what a lot of us need to do. I also got this here. This right here is a letter that I wrote to Attorney General explaining everything there, but also breaking down the time that I've done. And it comes to the cases from 2004 to 2011. The vacated time is 2,712 days. I wouldn't take it state because I know they're going to hand their hands and manipulate it. But even at a federal level, but federal courts is like more, operative dealing with our rights. Even though Massachusetts is supposed to be more stringent, the people have their hands in it, so they're going to block whatever I'm trying to do. Once I got the blueprint, it's we can't go for wrongful conviction statute because you have to claim pure innocence. But my thing is once it goes back to the standard of you going back before the court and them saying egregious misconduct and they vacating the case, you go back to innocent. So aren't you innocent? You're innocent to proven guilty, right? Federal courts up to $300 a day. I did the math. It comes to $813,600. That's what I'm seeking for compensation. These civil attorneys are like not trying to even be inclined to help because they're all in a pocket with the powers that be. And I'll get into that another time. But yeah, I wrote this there and broke down everything to her, all the time that I've done, all the time that I've done on suspended license and things with Kinzer, the everything to agitate, everything to deal with the situation done at the drug lab, I put on there, and I never got a response back from them. Never. I'm also doing a documentary right now with Netflix, HBO, Jigsaw Productions, in relation with them dealing with the Air Mass drug lab scandals. They came and picked me up from prison, interviewed there. I feel like this is all I have for my life is to get to this point, and I don't know how many people are going to hear me or inclined to hear me or even to help. Just a word of good luck is enough for me for inspiration, because I've been doing all of this on my own, really busting my ass to get this stuff done and get my life back. So I appreciate any inclination of that. I actually appreciate any negativity too, because it actually going to help me. The negativity actually fuels me to keep going to do the things that I have to do. So I applaud you for it. I really applaud you for it. People feel what they don't understand and they hate what they can't conquer. And I'm not here for you to understand me, and I'm not here for these people, the powers that be, to conquer me either. So whether you get the gist or not, it doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, this is what I have here. This is what I have going on right now, going on in this situation. Hear the background, people talking, knowing damn well I'm filming, but it's all right. But yeah, I'm gonna hit y'all another date, a later date, to let you know how it is, cause me in the hood still, so I gotta respect on all levels and go handle that real quick. But like I said, my number again is 413-285-9517. You can hit me up. A small case, lowercase tally, TALLEY 01109 at gmail.com.